my name is Ketu Osborne. I'm from the Department of Computer Science.
My name is Ekeleme David, and I'm from the Department of Computer Science.
My name is Shelby, and I'm from the Department of Computer Science.
My name is Simiat, and I'm from the Department of Computer Science.
My name is Joanna, I'm from the Department of Computer Science.
My name is Anita Ekon from the Department of Computer Science.
My name is Omoni Ituwa Ashe from the Department of Computer Science.
My name is Benga Ademi Stephanie from the Department of Computer Science.
Rochas Chimere Ezichemi. I'm from the Department of Computer Science.
My name is Ogene Kumo, Associate Computer Science.
My name is Felipe Flores, Computer Science.
My name is Bodo Lady Peter from the Department of Computer Science.
My name is Omoni Ituwa from the Department of Computer Science.
No, from the Department of Computer Science.
My name is Alabia Abdulrahman from the Department of Computer Science.
My name is Chukwu Chikode, I'm from the Department of Computer Science.
My name is Mejo Tefani, I'm from the Department of Computer Science.
From the Department of Computer Science.
My name is Aruna Mishimi, I'm from the Department of Computer Science.
My name is Obe Chukwu I'm from the Department of Computer Science.
Faruk Azim from Computer Science.
Alani Muji, Computer Science.
Kasper Zef Martins, Computer Science.
Hi, my name is Odua Oleni. I am a leadership expert, and today I am hosting this workshop meeting with members of my group. Expert because I have skills that make me a leadership expert. Number one skill I have is that I am a team player. I am someone that knows how to make sure that the goals of my organization are always met. I always make sure that I carry each and every member of the group along. I'm not a kind of leader that leaves members of my group to do things single-handedly without giving the help that they need. I am always there to give them all the necessary support in everything that they set out to achieve. Being a team player is something that many people don't understand because some people consider themselves to be team players, but they are actually self-centered in the sense that they are forcing members of their team to achieve things for themselves only. They are not really interested in the welfare of people, but they are doing these things simply because they want results and they want those results fast and for themselves. If you are a team player and you are not the kind of person that is interested in building a good organization driven by results for the good of the organization, not just for yourself, then you wouldn't be a successful leader. Being a team player is all about doing things and understanding how we can do those things for the good of everyone. So I'm a team player. Another skill I have is that I am very result oriented. I'm a leader that has a goal mindset. I am a goal getter. I always make sure that whatever I do, I do not neglect the goals of the organization. I do not let work or personal life or family life to interfere with the group's goals. I always ensure that members of my group are focused and always determined to achieve whatever they want. Being a goal-getter is something that takes serious planning, it's something that takes serious discipline, it's something that takes serious determination because setting goals is different from making wishes. Setting a goal involves careful thinking, involves careful planning, involves courage, involves skill. Because you find out some people, they set goals. I might wake up this morning and I might just decide, okay, today I'm going to finish this textbook, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to run a mile, I'm going to do that. You are making, those are goals, you have a plan to do them, but those goals are not realistic. So that's why with goal setting, there are skills that come with it. If you do not have those skills, then you will be able to set those goals properly. I'm a goal getter, I have those skills, I have the ability to bring members of my group together and to make sure that we achieve whatever we want together. Then to add to all I've said, I most importantly believe in life balance. We find out that many people today, many CEOs, many business executives, they live a life that is very work-centered. They do not have any life apart from the life they have in their office. I once heard of a story about Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla Motors, that this man for a period of time he stayed in his office for 22 hours a day working because he was scared. He didn't want his company. You know, when you have a startup company, you do not want that company to crash because that company is still in the infantile stage. So you do everything to make sure that that company survives economic crisis. So Elon was working in his office for 22 hours a day, 7 days a week, getting 2 hours sleep, eating in his office. That kind of life is not balanced. His wife ended up divorcing him because of his habits. But this someone that was married that was basically sleeping in his workplace. Business, work life, anything that concerns leadership should have a balance with other aspects of life. If you are if you are a leader and you don't know how to balance your life, you find out that majority of the time you'll be stressed, you'll be burnt out, and you will not have energy for anything else that's productive. So leadership is always very important to know that you need life balance. Life balance and not wise to live. Now, for the purpose of this leadership training program, I created a backronym. Now you may ask, what is a backronym? A backronym is simply an acronym, but in the form of an actual word. In the sense that I got an actual word, but I gave it in the form of an acronym. So the name of my backronym is BUILD. You guys know the word BUILD. B-U-I-L-D, BUILD. So the aim of this leadership training program is to build a leader. Now, why do we need to build a leader? Firstly, I'm going to go to what the meaning of each letter states in my backronym. B, to bring and highlight the pointers that lead a leader and all the leader needs to know about his position. U, to utilize and understand a leader's inner strength in dealing with his followers or when a challenge arises. I, to inquire about the rights and obligations of the leader and how to efficiently go about with them. L, to learn that a leader never stops. D, demonstration is leadership. Let's talk about B. Building a leader involves highlighting what it takes to be a leader. Now, how do you think? How does the person become a leader? Like, is someone just born a leader? Does someone just have the characteristics of a leader naturally without any efforts? And the answer to that question is a simple end goal. It simply does not exist. There's no such thing as a born leader. Why? Because leadership is a choice. Leadership is a decision. And anyone can lead if they can make up their mind to lead. No one is born leader. No one is born leader. But genetically, you might find people that are naturally more confident than someone else. That doesn't mean they are necessarily born leaders. They just have those leadership qualities already in them because of environmental factors and the way they were brought up, upbringing. But shyness was something that you got from it was something you learned. Many of us know. Some people just like, okay, I'm shy. You learned that thing. You were brought up culturing shyness. You are trained based on where you were from. You became shy. Based on your upbringing, you were shy. So it's not as if you just gave birth to you and you're just shy. Growing up, you were based on the way your parents treated you, the kind of environment you grew up in. You learn to like suppress your needs. You learn to not always speak. Maybe you're the kind of person that you just say something kind of snarky comment in a partner and that will just like shout at you. Or they're the kind of person you are not taking seriously growing up. You develop shyness. not be confident. But there are some people, no matter the rubbish they say, their parents are always telling them, they are the best son, you can do this son, I'm so proud of this son. Johnny is bringing this home and he's getting PS4. They are getting all A's and your dad is just saying great job. Johnny will be more confident than you, even though Johnny is not necessarily better than you. So that's just it. Shyness is something that can be learned. So back to what I was saying. No one is going to be that. You can only have those qualities already in you. So, like I said, leadership is a choice. And I know that you guys coming for this program, you have made that choice that you want to become a leader. And I congratulate you because it's a journey to look forward to. I'm not saying this because of what you have to enjoy. Although what you have to enjoy is present, but it's not only about that. But leadership is all about the experience. It's all about the good times, it's all about the bad times. It's all about everything that contributes to the word leadership. Now, you, to utilize and understand a leader's inner strength, that's the meaning of you. Now, why do we need to utilize our inner strengths? Why do we need to use what's in us? Why do we need to unleash our inner capabilities? Now, as we all know, each and every one of us have our unique talents, even though you might not be aware of it. Even though your talent might have been suppressed, even though your talent has not yet been discovered, each and every one of us have our unique talents. You have that one thing that separates us from everyone else. And the moment you begin to discover your talents, you don't need to be given any position, you are a leader. The moment you discover that thing that is unique about you, and you are able to use it, you are able to use that thing to influence other people, you automatically become a leader at that moment. Now, I talked about some people the other day. As human beings, we have things that bother us, and we have things that are in our control, we have things that are not in our control. The things that are not in our control fall under our circle of concern, and the things that are in our control fall under our circle of influence. Your circle of concern is basically those things that you think about, but you can't necessarily do anything about them. Like, assuming it's going to rain today, can you change that? Can you change the weather? It's not possible. That's your circle of concern, but you might feel okay if it rains today, it's going to spoil my mood. But that's up to you. But it's still going to rain. You cannot prohibit that from happening. So that's your circle of concern. But your circle of influence is, okay, I find out that I'm not understanding this topic. Instead of me just, realizing that, instead of me just sticking to the fact that, maybe I'm not just smart enough, maybe this school is not for me, maybe this school is just a scam, maybe I'm not just cut out for this thing. But instead, I decide to do something different. Instead, I decide to, do I need to work on my study habits? Is there something I've been doing before? Is it because I've always been relying on Bola in the exam hall? That's why I'm not smart enough. Is it because I've been leaving my brain dormant? I've not been doing anything with my brain. I've not challenged myself before. That's why I'm not performing as I expect to. That's your circle of influence. We'll find out that most times, like 70% of people, or 80%, spend their time in their circle of concern on things they cannot change, on things they worry more about things they cannot change than on things they can change. And as a leader, if you are more worried about things that you can't change than things that you can change, you are setting yourself up for disaster. Because there will be many things that you cannot change in a leadership position. You cannot change your followers, you cannot change their habits, you cannot change the way they behave. The only thing you can change is your response to the way you behave. I talked about responsibility. Responsibility is basically responsibility. The ability to choose your response. Me being responsible does not necessarily make me accountable for everything my followers do. It does not necessarily make me responsible. It does not make me necessarily accountable for everything that I do, in the sense that if something is wrong in my group, I know what to accept as my fault and I know what not to accept as my fault. Because I know the things I can change and I know the things I cannot change. That's the responsibility. That's the ability to know, okay, this is how this is. I can't work on this anymore. Or this is how the situation is. I can't change them, because I find that we live in a kind of reality where we are very dependent on each other. And he said, or we live in a reality where, okay, let's say you are dependent on me, I'm dependent on you. It doesn't necessarily mean we are dependent. Let me explain. Like, we actually live in an interdependent reality. In the sense that I need you, you need me. Do you get? But it does not necessarily mean that I'm dependent on you for everything. Some people are also independent in the sense that they can achieve their own things by themselves without needing other people. But the truth is, there's no man is an island. And anyone that tells you that, okay, he has what the system normally is, he's a self-made millionaire. He's a self-made millionaire. There's no such thing as self-made, because you have people working under you. They are the ones that generate your profits for you. You might just be the ones sitting in the office and just signing some documents, and you are calling yourself a self-made millionaire. They are not self-made. Our reality is very interdependent, and if you do not know how to relate well, if you don't know how to choose your responses with people, you find out that you'll be failing in everyday life. In everyday life, relating to members of your workplace. To the next letter. So inquire about the rights and obligations of a leader. Now, as a leader, you have rights, you have entitlements, but you also have duties, you also have obligations. And there are some times that we face different situations as leaders. And I talk about different types of situations we face. Sometimes like we face a lose-win situation. Sometimes we face a win-lose situation. Sometimes we're in a win-win situation. Sometimes we're in a lose-lose situation. Sometimes we're in a lose-win situation. And sometimes we're in a lose-lose situation. I think I've said that. We're in a lose-lose situation. Now, as a leader, part of your leadership is being able to understand when to discern and when to know when to draw power from your position. Because as a leader, you need to have the ability to understand situation. You need to have the ability to be very receptive. You find out that in our modern day world, many people do more talking than listening. If as a leader you do not have the ability to listen first, to listen twice as much as you speak, then you are going to have issues with your followers. You are not going to be able to communicate on that optimum level with them. They are not going to fully trust you. And you are not going to be a kind of leader that they'll be comfortable sharing things with. Now to the next letter. L. Learn that a leader never stops learning. As a leader, you never stop learning. You find out that a major characteristic of leaders all over the world, of prominent leaders, is that they read books. Today we live in a 5-minute world, in the sense that if you want to commission about a topic, you can just go to Google and just scan through or skim through a blog and you get what you need. No one necessarily has the time to go in depth into any form of knowledge, and that's what's actually making a lot of our youths and a lot of our leaders shallow-minded, because they never want to stress themselves to get the hard truth. They prefer to remain surface level and to just flow along with what everyone is doing. One thing leaders don't do is that they flow along. Leaders do not flow along. Leaders are unique. Sometimes that uniqueness can be positive, sometimes that uniqueness can be negative. There's a story of Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is one of the co-founders of Apple, like your iPhone, whatever. Steve Jobs and there's this other guy, Steve Wozniak, were the two people that founded Apple in 1970s. Now, Steve Jobs was unique. Steve Jobs was very unique. But his kind of uniqueness was a bit extreme. Steve Jobs was the kind of person that, in a university like this, Steve Jobs would go outside without shoes, without any form of footwear, and he would just roam around because in his mind or in his own thinking, he was making a statement. He was the kind of person that he did not live in any form of status quo. He was living his own life. He was doing things on his own terms. And that kind of uniqueness might be inappropriate because in university, why will you be going outside? Why will you not be wearing shoes? Because it's not a normal behavior, but that kind of uniqueness was coupled with a kind of creativity, a kind of thinking. He was somebody that thought differently, and he was unapologetic about his thinking. He's the kind of person that when he comes up with an idea, everyone in his committee or everyone in his group, they will go against it. And if he feels that they are going against it and they are not listening to him, he will walk out, he will leave the company, and he will go on his own. And he did that actually. There was this time, he founded Apple, but like the board of Apple, there's a board, not these companies. There's a board of people that kind of be more qualified than you, but they are in your company. So the board of Apple in the 90s, they sacked Steve Jobs from his own company because he was someone that was, he's somebody that they are working on something is smelly because he's not taking showers, because he was so immersed, he was so in love with what he was doing, with his love for technology, that he did not care about taking a shower, he did not care about putting on shoes, he did not care about wearing nice clothes. You find out that all these people in Silicon Valley, all these tech guys, many of them, they just wear a polo shirt, they just wear jeans, trousers, because there are things that motivate them that us average people do not see, or us common men do not see, because we just want to follow the trend. So as a leader, you must have uniqueness. I'm not necessarily telling you to imitate Steve Jobs, but I'm just giving you an example of how someone can just be different, can just unapologetically do what he wants to do and be successful at that thing. It does not necessarily mean that there are good sides to Steve Jobs, there are also negative sides. There are good sides to Elon Musk, there are also negative sides. There are good sides to Bill Gates, there are also negative sides. So as a leader, we need to know that we should never stop educating ourselves. Bill Gates reads a book every week. In a year, he reads 52 books. He has a foundation, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, but yet he devotes time to learning because he knows learning got him into his position. Now, for the last letter, demonstration is leadership. As a leader, you need to walk the talk. It's not just about speaking, it's not just about saying things. As a leader, you need to know how to take actions. You need to know how to be deliberate when you take your actions. You need to know how to be committed to doing. one thing you are going to face as a leader is competition. You are the CEO of your own company tomorrow. You are working at your own pace, you are doing your own things. You are taking all the great tolerance, you are doing everything right. But you are not necessarily acting out to your thoughts. You are thinking them, you are following the procedures they are doing, but you are not like doing it. You are not actually producing all the things that you are learning. I just talked about reading. Okay, fine, learning is cool, learning is okay, but if you are learning and you are not acting out what you are learning, what is the point of learning? It's better not to learn anything, it's better to go watch a movie than to learn and you are not able to bring down what you have learned. Speaking about competition, you are doing the same thing, you are working on the same product, but someone is doing something and you are just coming up with the plans. That person that is doing something, even if the person might not know the plans as well as you do, the fact that the person is able to do it and make mistakes, the person will learn faster than you. Because doing is actually the fastest way to learn. Apart from visual learning, apart from audio learning, apart from that, doing is the best way to learn. It's the best way for things to actually stick to your memory. Because the more you do, the more you are reviewing what you have learned. And the more you are reviewing what you have learned, the more it sticks to your memory, the more neurons in your brain connect. Because how you remember things is when neurons in your brain connect, when they find their connections. Because we have millions of neurons in our brain. So, and these neurons have synapses, and I won't go into that now, but that's how we remember things. When we review what we've learned, when we review what we learned by doing things, we tighten our connections. Because we are making the brain to form those connections again. Let me give an example. Assuming you mow a lawn every day, keep that lawn clean every day, mow it. After some time, that lawn grass is going to stop growing there. Right? It's going to wither. Like, you are mowing it. You don't allow it to grow again. You are mowing it. Very soon, you are going to get to a fertile ground that the lawn is not going to sprout up again. That's kind of like memory. If you know something and you keep on doing that thing, it will take like a longer time for you to forget that thing. I hope you guys are getting what I'm saying. Like, I've cleared the lawn now. So me clearing the lawn is going to take, because I clear it regularly, it's going to take a longer time for it to sprout up, than for me to clear it again. So if I learn and I continue learning, the sprouting up is like forgetting. It will take a longer time for me to forget those things and go back to clearing it, go back to learning it again. Do you understand? That's how learning is. And we learn as leaders by doing. We learn as leaders by what? By what? I'm very grateful to have given this opportunity to lecture you guys on aspects of leadership. Now, I am shifting it to you guys. Is there anything that you have learned? Any question you have? Anything that wasn't clear? Anything that wasn't addressed properly that you'd like me to throw more light on? Is there any? The absence of questions, I'm going to ask my own question. When you're coming here, what do you think you learned from this leadership training program? Anyone? Introduce yourself.
College of Computer Science. So my aim is to work towards achieving the goals of my how I intend to do that. Already, I would like to be persuasive, and I'm someone that motivates people into following my lead. How I intend to do that, first of all, I intend to create a goal. For example, activity 1. I intend to create a goal whereby we achieve the first class of Alfred Babalola University. Okay, now how I put that into place. I create the goal and I ask how I'm going to achieve that goal. I try to communicate with my members, my followers, how to achieve that goal. I ask the problem. For example, I'm not good at physics. Who's good at physics? Raise up our hand and I'll meet. Okay, you are good at physics. Okay, you are good at chemistry. Then how to interact.
Thank you very much. The aim is to make sure that people use their goals.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Ashmi, I saw some hands up. Are you guys ready? I saw some hands up. Introduce yourself. Sorry. I'm going to take two more, a male and a female. So I saw some hands up. I'm going to point at you, raise up your hand. Okay. Tell me why you think. What's your name?
My aim for coming to this leadership workshop is to be able to improve productivity, promote better decision making, build better teams, and to be able to train future leaders who have a management style that is conducive to a positive working atmosphere.
Thank you very much. Now, bring forward. There's no boy. Just see what's in mind. Sorry, did you get your name?
Being transparent and powerful, you know, to trust yourself and to be trusted by others. Most leaders aren't transparent with their members because they believe that they'll be less authoritative with their members. So they decide not to be transparent to them, but when it comes to believe, they'll be less that credentials will be that they work so hard to attain will be less. The power is to have less power and less leverage.
When they are not honest, their followers will not trust their dealings, not trust what they are doing. I agree too much. Thank you very much for coming. Once again, I want to thank everyone for being here today, and I hope you guys are enjoying the small refreshments that we had in store for you guys. This meeting lasted for less than an hour, and I feel I've been able to touch the nitty-gritties of leadership. And I'm happy that I've been able to pass across this message to you. And you guys have cooperated with me by not using your phones, by not being distracted throughout the lecture. I'm really grateful for all that. And as we progress out of here, I wish all of us to see them back home. And to conclude, I want to briefly explain the benefits of leadership. Leadership brings about recognition. When you are a leader, you are someone that sought after. You are someone that enjoy. It's not necessarily about enjoying, but you are someone that gives a lot of regard because of your influence. And because of that, you are someone that will be comfortable most of the time. As a leader, you will be able to have skills that normal people do not have. You will be able to have developed skills that normal people cannot really relate to. You will be someone that is confident, someone that is responsible, someone that has good empathetic skills, and you'll be able to relate well with members of your group efficiently. As a leader, you will be able to lead, meaning you'll be able to overcome stage fright, you'll be able to formulate a plan and a goal and not be scared to follow that goal. I am saying all this during my heart because I know that I have inspired at least one person, because even though it's a person that has been in the most minimal way be influenced by a word I've spoken, I am a fulfilled person. And that's what leadership does to you. You are not really focused on massive change, but on quantum change, on little things, on little improvements, because in life, the most fundamental things are the things that are most important, because they are the building blocks of our basic existence. Atoms make molecules, molecules make compounds, compounds make formulas, and constitutes everything. So what I'm saying in essence is that without the people that don't exist, and I'm grateful for you guys, you future leaders, for showing up with you, and I wish you peace and progress as you continue on this journey towards leadership, because the world needs people like you, and we can only depend on you. Thank you.